the reality? What's the reality?
What's up, and welcome to another episode of What's the Reality? It's me, your girl, AD, and I am joined by two wonderful guests. Belynda and Jalyn are here from Married at First Sight Season 19. The finale and the reunion just aired last week, and I have so many questions. But first off, hello, and welcome to What's the Reality?
Hi. We're good. We're excited.
We're excited to be
Mom
here.
and daughter, I can't see twins, sisters. And you guys,
I don't think it still doesn't hit me. I just got chills and you said it.
So cute. I was watching, binging your show, and if I would turn my head for 1 second and hear a laugh, I'm like, who was that?
Oh my God.
You guys started, the laughs started to
blend.
Yeah.
There was a scene where she says something while she's in the white truck, but I was also in a white truck. So when I heard her, I thought it was me.
Yeah.
Until I saw her walk out of the white truck, and I was
so
like,
funny.
oh, that wasn't me, that was her.
That is so
Yeah.
funny. Okay, so how are you guys both feeling now that the show is aired and everything is out there?
Oh, relieved, I think.
Very relieved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I feel very at peace, and it's been a whirlwind. So, yeah.
It's been a long time coming. I heard you guys filmed in 2024.
Yeah.
We did. Mm-hmm.
And we're almost in 2020.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just, I bet, a lot of anticipation and waiting around.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so tell me what life has been like for the past year since filming wrapped.
I mean, for me, it's just going back to work. And I did some things during the year. I went on vacation. I went to Las Vegas, and then I spent 2 weeks in Bali, which was really amazing. Much needed time off. And just, me and the dog. And
You hosted a girls' wellness retreat?
I hosted a girls' wellness retreat, my first one, which is something
Yeah.
I want to do moving forward. I really just want, ever since I became an empty nester, I really just wanted to get women together, other women who are kind of going through the same thing and just trying to find purpose all over again. So we had a retreat, and it was a lot of fun. So that's part of the stuff I've been doing in the past year. And other than that, working, at the same time.
Wait, the retreat sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh, did you go?
I didn't go, no.
No.
That was more so for her
it's
and
all
some of her girls, but
women
I
my
definitely
age.
want to go on the next one.
Okay. Well, tell me about your year, Jalyn.
Ooh, it's been crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, I spent the last year and a half just living an awesome life with Josh
Yeah.
up until 3 months ago. So
Yeah.
I think for me, it's been, the last 3 months have been a little more challenging, just going through the breakup. And, as much as we filmed a long time ago, everything still feels very recent, obviously, just because I spent my life with this person up until recent. So yeah.
So what has it been like going through such a wild, once-in-a-lifetime experience together and having each other to lean on through it all?
I think it's been nice. I'm glad that she was there and that I was there for her, just because I don't know, there's times where you want to ask each other, what do you think? And who knows us better than each other? So instead of going to somebody else and asking, we could ask each other.
Yeah, and
I
it's
feel
one thing to call your mom and be like, hey, I need your advice. But for my mom to already be in the same place sometimes and to see the perspective in her way already was a nice feeling. Just hey, check me really quick. What's going on here? What are you
Yeah.
seeing that I'm not?
Yeah.
So that was really nice. And
I think we found too that we kept giving each other the same advice, just different
Yeah.
verbiage back
Yeah,
and
yeah,
forth.
yeah.
And then we finally realized it at some point, and we're like, I think we're just giving each other the same advice.
That's so cute. I just always think what it would be like if my mom was on Love is Blind.
and that's what's funny. I think a lot of people had this expectation that we were going to be very in each other's
business.
way and just constantly in the business. And we've always done such a good job at having such a different dynamic. And I thought that was going to be a fun surprise for people to see.
Yeah, it was really nice to see, especially being in the reality TV world and knowing the ins and outs, and kind of like you said, there's so many times where I wanted to call my mom or and I couldn't, or now once we left the pods and stuff, wanting to talk to my mom and get advice, and just having your mom there probably was so relieving.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
can't imagine
gosh.
having done all of this without her being there.
Yeah.
I think it would just be so weird.
That's-
I don't know that I
Yeah.
would have done that.
How would you describe your relationship with each other growing up?
I was a stay-at-home mom, so you know, she's a twin, so I spent all the time with them, like volunteered at the school and took them everywhere. I was always I'm the type of person, like if I didn't get to do something growing up, I wanted them to do everything. So they were involved in like anything and everything you could possibly think of. I mean, there was not a dull moment. We drove from one activity to the next, and
Yeah.
I just kept them busy the whole time. But
Yes.
I feel like relationship wise, like that's how we got closer, because I did get to be at home with them.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a very
Yeah.
open communication. We all, like, I always felt like I could come to her about anything.
Yeah.
Too much sometimes.
Yeah, and there was just never any judgment for the most part, and she's just always been very level-headed. So, and we're different. So, you know, when I like my dad said on the wedding night, if Jalyn's in the wrong, her mom will tell her.
Yeah.
And that's true.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. What is one quality you admire most about each other?
Oh my gosh, the quality I admire about her, I personally feel like she's fearless, and she has a really good set of boundaries that I wish at her age I had, because here I am in my late 40s just trying to have them. So yeah.
I think I appreciate just your selflessness, like the way you naturally put everybody, you know, in front. And I think that that's something that takes a lot of power. And so I appreciate that for sure.
Y'all are so sweet.
Oh, smack my mouth.
What did you each learn about your bond during this whole experience?
I think what we might have learned about our bond with each other is like it's like something you definitely can't break. Like nothing can shake
It doesn't
I
have
don't feel.
boundaries. Like we've never really talked about sex, like
Mhm.
ever. That's probably the one thing that we kind of stay pretty.
I think there
Pretty
was like
divided on.
a few times
Maybe
when
a
we were
few
young, and it was a little
times.
much. But I was like,
But I think us like even having this experience was so much different, and we just
Yeah.
handled it. I mean, at this age, we're different than when I was
Yeah.
younger, but so it was really interesting. But it didn't feel strange at all.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like we were talking about it kind of honestly like for the first time, but for me I just felt like when she got married, it was such a just a difference in my view of her. It's like, well, now she was an adult, but now she's like a married woman, and
Yep.
she's a wife, and that's different. And so I feel like then it does open up the ability to talk about things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say we're like best friends in a way. We're just like, you know, we just shoot the shit and like we just say everything. But we're like
No.
best friends with a fine line of, hey, you're still my mom. Hey, you're
Yeah.
still my daughter.
There's still
So-
that respect
Yeah,
boundary.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and my mom are just like that. Like there's a line we just don't
Right?
quite cross.
Yeah. I think some things I normally typically wouldn't tell her.
Mhm.
I found myself telling her in the experience just because I needed that
Yeah.
that help in
Yeah.
the process.
And
So.
I also don't feel like she needs to tell me everything. I think like there are some things that she's gonna tell her friends, and there are some things she's gonna tell me, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Perfectly fine.
that's why we have different people. You know?
Right. Okay, so let's get into your season. You both made history as the show's first mother-daughter cast members to get married at first sight.
Yeah.
How did you both end up on the show together? Walk us through how this all came to
Oh,
be.
gosh.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I started the process of the casting first. And I got pretty far. They came to my house and they were just, Pastor Cal called my mom and he was like, let's just make sure you're ready. You're 27. Let's get her on the phone. And my mom, she grew up watching the show, so she
Yeah.
loves Pastor Cal. So when he called her, she's like, oh my God, I love you. And he laughed and he said like, oh, is she ready? My mom said yes. And he said, jokingly, hey, is this something, would it be something you would ever do? My mom was like, of course. Like, I would love for experts to match me. And it was a joke. We hung up the phone and immediately after that, production came and said, hey, do you really think your mom would do
Oh my
something like this? I
gosh,
said,
yeah.
yeah, like actually, if you want to pick her, I want this for her more. Let her go.
Oh, yeah.
And they said, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, I called her. I said, hey, Mom, send me some pictures of you. They want to. And my mom's just like, what?
Oh my gosh, that just gave me chills.
Yeah, it was really crazy. So, you interviewed. They said we got one chance to pitch this.
Yeah.
And it worked. It was insane.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. What made you each decide to take such a big leap of faith and get married at first sight?
I feel like it's just a chance you take, and it's I guess because I was like a big fan of the show, and I just always thought that this is like such a cool experiment. And I used to always like watch and think, gosh, what would I do if I was in this experiment? How would I handle it? And I just thought, like, for me, it was going to be something that was going to be fun and like challenging and just totally out of the norm for me. It's not really something I'd ever do, but always wanted to do.
But when you got that call where you're like, yeah, I'm ready to get married again.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I was ready to be with somebody already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I feel like I had just hit a moment where I was okay with starting to go out to dinner by myself. I had just started going to movie theaters by myself. And so I had just gotten comfortable. And then this just like fell into my lap. And I was like, okay, well, maybe this is like meant to be.
Yeah.
Maybe this is how I'm going to meet my person.
Right.
Mhm.
Maybe it's because I just got comfortable with
what is
living
the
by
harm in
myself.
seeing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like,
Yeah.
it's a 50-50. It's either a yes or a no. And at the end of the day, if it's a yes, great. And if it's a no, well, it's okay. It was still a cool experience,
Yeah. And I thought for me, like, it was just clearly everything I'd been doing, the people I'd been picking, it was just not working. And I thought, what is the harm in having somebody analyze me and find something that I wasn't looking for that
Yeah.
I kept ignoring in a person? So I thought it was worth the risk for sure.
Were you like 100% honest on your applications and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, like
yes.
thoroughly.
Thoroughly, very honest.
Yeah.
And I remember Pastor Cal said, I don't want to know what you're comfortable with. I don't want to know what you're open to. What do you want?
Yeah.
And I just felt really at ease. And so, yeah, I definitely was as specific as I could be. I remember seeing even like a somebody at the grocery store, and I just typed in Google like what that person could look like, and I sent it, and I was like, if he could even look like this, like this is a good photo, and it was just dramatic.
Yeah.
But I gave them
Very
to a T.
specific. Yeah. That's so funny. What did the rest of the family think about you two going on the show?
Oh my gosh. I think they were kind of in shock.
Yeah, my brothers were in shock, but so excited.
Because they'd watch too.
So
Yeah.
excited. My dad had to freak out for a second for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then when we told him my mom was going to do it too, my dad was just like, oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody was super supportive. We got really lucky. They were all very excited for us. And I think they all kind of, my brothers have seen us in our dating history, and they're like, y'all need
help.
get some professional help.
Yeah.
I know. I think my boys were just excited too that I got to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. They want me to have somebody just as bad as she did.
Yeah.
I love that. What were your biggest fears going into the experiment?
Oh my God. My biggest fear was like, what if I get there and he's like totally disappointed? And
That's real.
yeah, that I think too, like, what if I was disappointed? But the what if he's disappointed was like harder.
Yeah, that is harder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what do you do? Like, you can't change that. You can't fix that.
Yeah.
That happens all the time.
And if
Yeah.
I was disappointed, at least I can tell myself, okay, well, let's stay open-minded. Let's continue working on it.
You can't
What if
change
they
someone
weren't?
else. Yeah.
Attraction can grow because
Yeah.
that's happened to me before. Attraction has grown. But my fear was like, well, what if he doesn't like me? Then what?
Yeah. I think for me, my fear was just still being in a very driven new place as far as my career. And, I'm someone who I'm still getting there. And what if my partner is already there and wants someone already there too? And so I think it was more so me worrying about, is my partner going to be super judgmental of some parts of my life?
Yeah. How did you guys get over those fears?
I mean, I don't know that I
think
actually did.
I don't know that I did either. I think I just got very lucky that when I did express my fears to Josh, he was super understanding because we were both in the same position. Like, one of my fears was him being judgmental of me not finishing college. And that was a huge fear of mine talking about. And he was super open with me about that, which was nice, and said, I didn't finish either.
Yeah.
So that put my fear to rest pretty quick.
Very nice.
Yeah. I think Chad told me pretty early on, he's like I just want to I think we were going to go on the honeymoon, and he's like, I just want to, hopefully when we get to the honeymoon, there'll be less cameras than at the wedding, and we'll just have a good time, and I can get to know you. And so he seemed really excited. You know, I did have to break the news and say, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cameras at the honeymoon too.
those poor cameras.
Yikes, I think we're on a TV show. Shit.
What advice did you give each other before starting the experiment?
It was definitely to stay open-minded and
Yeah.
positive and to keep an open heart. That was the main advice.
That was like our big
don't
goal.
throw the towel in immediately over anything little.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's one thing you kept telling me.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
did.
okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Give it a shot. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I just keep trying to put myself in y'all's position, like with my mom and stuff. And I'm just like, my mom would have ran me off the show. I would have ran her off the show. We would have looked at each other and been like, you ready to go? This is a little bit too much. Yeah. So that's like so commendable that you guys stuck around for like the long haul, because we would have talked each other right out of it like before it all. But Belynda, let's start with you.
Yeah.
What was it like watching Jalyn on her wedding day? Were you like, oh my God, this is going to be me tomorrow?
I was excited for her, and of course, seeing her in a wedding dress for the first time, it was beautiful. I wasn't there when she tried her dress on, so it was nice to have that moment where I get to see her come down the aisles, like kind of, you know, really emotional, and then seeing Josh be emotional, and I was like, oh my God, this is like crazy, but it was nice. I mean, I liked it. The whole thing. It was fun.
Looking back, what was your first impressions of Chad when you met him at the altar?
I felt like he was smiling. I could tell. So before I even went down the aisle, I could hear them laughing from far away. So I thought, okay, I can hear her laughing. So that means something fun is going on. So he must have like a fun personality.
Yeah.
And that kind of made me feel a little bit better. And I told my sons, like, because I wasn't wearing contacts that day, so I wasn't going to see him until I got real close.
Wait, why?
Because at the time I didn't like to wear contacts, and I
That's
wasn't
so
going to wear my
funny.
glasses. So I was like, so yeah, the plan was like, okay, I'm going to walk down the aisle. I'm going to look right to his family and then look left to my family. And as I get closer, then I'm going to look at him. And I told the production team that, so that way they know when my real reaction was, because I couldn't see him from far away. But I mean, I heard him laughing, and I told my sons, you guys, if he looks good, squeeze my hand. They never squeezed my hand.
Oh, no.
So I was like walking down like, oh God, smiling at everybody. I really hope he's
Here we go.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's like a Love is Blind reveal.
Right. But I mean, you know, I got there, and he, you know, was friendly and nice and everything at the altar, and, you know, laughing, and just, it was good. Like I was comfortable.
Yeah.
I didn't feel uncomfortable at all at that point. Yeah.
That's insane.
I
Like
know.
walking
Isn't
up
that
to a
weird?
stranger and feeling comfortable.
Like, what does that say about me? Like, am I the weird one that it wasn't uncomfortable?
No, that just means you felt safe. That's good. But were you concerned to learn how many times Chad had been previously married?
So, well, I didn't know in that moment, but when
Yeah.
I did find out, I was like, whoa, okay. It is a concern, but then at the same time, you're like, I mean, could he have just had bad luck? I mean,
A
you
lot of
just
bad
never know. It's a lot of
luck.
bad luck. Like, I hope he was having some bad luck.
Open mind.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, yes, I have to keep telling myself, okay, stay open-minded. Like, it could, you know, I don't know, one of them could have died.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did you have any reactions to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that to me, I was
It
just
was all
like,
over her face.
ooh, okay, interesting. That's quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, but he seemed really genuine, and I loved his family. So I, again, kept that up in mind.
Open mind. You guys are so funny. Belynda, a lot of challenges in your relationship with Chad stemmed from how he handled the pressures of being filmed and his interactions with production. Can you talk a bit more about that and how it impacted your relationship?
The whole time he was struggling with it, it was from the start.
Yeah.
And I mean, it only opened the door to let me see like who he is and how he treats people. And so I would see that, and then I'd be like, okay, then I'd have to have this talk with myself and be like, okay, he hasn't treated you like this. He's treating them like this. But it all goes back to that saying, right? Like people always say, oh, I like to see how my date's treating the waiter. And we all know it's not about the waiter. It's just in general, like how you treat other people, right? And so I think that he spent so much time worried about production that there wasn't necessarily a focus on getting to know me. It was more so of getting production away from himself.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I just started to lose that attraction because of it. I lose attraction when I see people just argue with people constantly, you know?
Why do you think he was so like hyper focused on cameras and production and
He didn't like it at all. I think he really
didn't
thought
like
he was
being
going to
on
get
TV?
Yeah,
On
I think he
TV?
thought he was going to get married and then he was going to have he said it several times. I just want to have time to get to know you
Yeah.
without all this. And I'm like, but you wouldn't have had me here
Right.
if you hadn't signed up for it.
Right.
So make it make sense.
Huh.
You sign up for something, you know what it is because they've told you what it
Mm-hmm.
is. And then you want to meet me, keep me, and back out of all the other obligations, you know?
Yeah.
And it's
So-
clear, it's just he didn't realize what he signed up for, but you also have to commit. When you commit, you've got to, treat
Commit.
people the right way and follow through.
Yeah. Were there any moments that happened that we didn't get to see?
Oh
Like-
my God, there was lots.
What's-
It's like, oh, where do we start?
Airport.
I feel like one of the big moments for me, we have our dinner at the hotel, and that was the first outburst, and you don't actually even see the full outburst on the episode, but there was that one, and then right as we were going to leave the airport to come back home from honeymoon, Pat had given him like a liquor bottle of some kind, and he put it on his carry-on. And so we get to the airport and they're like,
Can't bring that.
you can't bring this.
Yeah.
And he just like goes off. He's like, but it's not open. It's not open. And they're like, yeah, you can't bring this.
Yeah.
Like open or not, you can't bring it. And he's arguing, it's not open. It's not open. And he's a loud guy and a big guy. And so he's just going back and forth and, they tell him no. And so I'm like, Chad, they said no. And so he just turns around and he's like, F you, like
F who?
so loud to the people, the
Oh,
employees.
the
I thought he was
Yeah.
talking to you. I was like, hold up.
No, not to
And we're
me,
done.
to them. But
Oh
it
my
was like so
gosh.
loud that I was like,
That's
what the
alarming.
heck?
Yeah.
I'm like looking around to see who's there. And I think you and Josh they had just walked right out of a store. And so I just pretended like nothing had just happened when I saw them because I'm just like, if my kids had been traveling with us, I mean, which one was, but she wasn't standing there, I would have been so embarrassed. Like I just would have been so embarrassed. But after we got on the plane, he said, is everything okay? And I was like, no, like I just
Yeah,
have a
no.
feeling that our personalities are just not going to mesh well together.
Right.
And he said, why do you think that? And I said, I mean, the way you treated those people at the airport, like I said, I've spent years trying to get away from people who do things like that. I said, and I can't tell you not one friend or family member right now who I know that would do something like that.
It's only been a rule for how long at the airport?
I know. And
Right.
in that moment, there was no cameras.
Yeah.
So in that moment, he said, well, I guess we were just raised differently. So there was no like apology or anything like that. It was, we were raised differently. And I'm thinking, you were raised to act this
To
way?
cuss people out.
Over you
rules.
being
Right,
wrong.
over you being
Over
wrong.
you being wrong.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I think Dr. Pepper had a talk with us about that, and his response to that was when he feels that he's being, like him or his family's being stolen from, he's going to defend his family. I'm like, that is not being stolen from.
No.
That is you breaking a rule.
Right.
That's
a law.
Yeah.
Federal laws.
Yeah.
And feeling like privileged that you could break a rule like that, like, and then be upset with somebody else for having the rule, like, come on. And it's not like the employees make up these rules. So you're
Right.
treating these people badly
Right.
who
Doing
have
your
nothing
job.
to do with it. Yeah. And to me, it goes back to that. Like, you're treating, these people are trying to do their job. You're treating them like crap. And then your production's trying to do their job. You're treating them like crap. You're the one who signed up to be here.
Mhm.
So yeah, there was just moments like that. And I just kept like telling myself, okay, we're staying open-minded. Remember,
Yeah.
you're staying open-minded.
That's tough. My mind would have closed.
Yeah.
So that's
If I saw that-
wanted to. Like, yeah, I wanted to. And then I
Yeah.
kept saying, no, let's give it a try. Let's give it a try.
yeah.
And for me, I've always felt like if you practice something, you can kind of like make it come to fruition. So I thought, stay open-minded with him and treat him right. Treat him like you just married the man. He's your husband, right? So treat him as such. and then it will become that. But I tried to do that and it didn't work.
Yeah. Speaking of, you did seem really open and committed to giving the marriage a real shot. What helped you stay grounded and patient throughout the ups and downs, besides keeping an open mind?
I think just that, and then having her there, and then also having some thoughts in the back of my mind of people who have said, like, are you sure you tried hard enough? Or maybe you're just picky. Or I've gotten that from friends or family members. And I think that in the back of my mind saying, no, you're going to
That's
prove
kind of
them wrong.
scary.
You know,
Yeah.
like, it's not that you're picky. It's not, you're going to give it 100%. Let's give it 100%. So yeah, that's kind of, I think, what kind of kept me like,
That's like good and bad.
yeah, all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like trying to prove something to myself, you know,
and to others.
Yeah.
More than yourself.
Yes.
At some
And I
point.
think also in the back of my mind, I kind of felt like, okay, so you're like the first person who's in their 40s to be on here. Like, you represent something different. And I know if I was watching, I would be so hopeful. I would just be like, gosh, just tell us that we still all have a chance. You know what I mean? To find this. And I felt that. And I even felt like, gosh, I don't want to disappoint people if it doesn't work. So
that's a lot of pressure.
I know. I do those things to myself, but
no.
but yeah,
Selfless.
I was thinking about all of those things and just really trying. And so I thought, well, at least if I give it a chance, even outside of, filming, then I know I gave it 100%. I know no one can say that I didn't try hard enough, because I gave it a chance during filming, after filming, and yeah.
You're so sweet.
She is.
So you went through some really vulnerable moments on the show, especially when you opened up about your unhealthy relationship with your ex-husband.
I don't know why it all hit harder when we were filming this. It just seemed to, like, I got triggered more, and it was different. And like, he and I are in a good place now, and it just got to a point where, like, the arguments, the fighting, like, we finally got tired of it and got to a point where we kind of just, like, eventually stopped, and we're like, I'm tired of fighting with you. I'm tired of fighting with you too. But I didn't realize how much I still had in there. And that's one thing I loved about actually getting to be on the show and watching it back, because I can see when I got triggered. I know exactly when I got triggered, and now I can pinpoint it and say, this was a triggering moment.
Yeah.
This is why I got triggered. And now I know that that's something I have to work on.
Okay.
And that's, for me, that's my own therapy. Like,
Yeah.
I just, like,
That's healing.
figured it out. Yeah.
Jalyn, what was it like watching your mom open up about that?
I think it was tough, but it was something I definitely knew would trigger her. And seeing some of Chad's outbursts, I definitely understood how she got triggered from that. So I completely get it. And yeah.
I know. Her dad and I have a good relationship now.
Yeah.
He's been watching the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it wasn't for him, I would never have been able to be a stay-at-home mom. So it is something that I will always appreciate.
Yeah.
But he and I, we were young and we pretty much grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up together and raising kids at the same
Kids
time.
by 30.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy.
man.
Yeah.
So despite issues you and Chad were having, you both decided to say yes on decision day, but things quickly went downhill after that. Can you walk us through what happened after decision day?
After decision day, we had about like 4 days at our apartment, I think. And I started noticing that, like, the drink, because he would drink every night, and we didn't have Nest cameras in our living room because he pretty much told production that Belynda has HIPAA law for her job, so she can't have Nest cameras, even though I had already told him, like, hey, like, I can work out of my bedroom. I did that for a year anyway. Like, it's not a big deal. But he still wanted to use that excuse so he could get away with not having Nest cameras. And he had been drinking every night. So leading up to decision day, like, he said yes to, like, he would make some changes. And but then those last, like, 4 days that we were there after decision day, it's like it kind of all went back to normal. Except that he just switched his cup and it looked like a water cup. I don't know if it was water. I don't know what was in there. I said, I'm not going to even go smell it, because the point is, if he's still doing this stuff, like, I'm not here to change you. I'm just here to observe and see,
Right.
like, if I can live with you or not,
Right.
you know? But there was that, and we had a conversation, and I told him, like, I don't know what's going on. Like, you don't come to bed at night. Like, I need to know. And yeah, that was a whole thing, that conversation. But I went to his house. I was going to move into his house. Originally, we said we were going to take like a 4-day break. That was my idea, because his dog had been having like problems with the person it was staying with. I guess he said that she had torn up a couch. I know, like, on Easter, she had kind of like peed on the rug. And so I felt bad, and I had told him, I said, look, maybe it'll be a good idea if you take the dog home and get situated and everything. I ended up going to his house at night, and we were going to take all my stuff and put it inside the house. And then this whole blow up happened with the cat and my dog. And it wasn't even like they were loose. Like, Chad was carrying the cat, and he's got to be at least 6 feet, right?
Yeah.
And so the cat's about 6 feet high. And my dog, like, he comes down to like bring Sophie to us. And my dog kind of slowly walks and is looking at Sophie's tail, and well, she gets spooked.
Mhm.
And so she climbed up and kind of scratched him. And so he got upset, but then he came around anyway and stood on this side and brought her again. And I said, why do you keep bringing her closer? Like, she's already like crawled up
Right.
your face. And so
Right.
my dog was right here, and he's kind of leaning over to kind of smell him. And then Chad just like pushed him out of the way, and was all upset. And I said, like, I don't know, he started yelling, saying he's being aggressive, and he's being aggressive, and he's like yelling. And I'm just like, are we seeing the same thing? Like, I'm sitting here, my dog's quiet, my dog's not jumping on you. Yes, he's kind of leaning slowly because he wants to
He's
see the
curious,
cat.
yeah.
And my dog's been around cats.
Right.
So for my dog, it's not a big deal, So he walked away from us, and when he had his back turned to me, just like at the airport, he turned his back to the people before he yelled at them. He turned his back to me, and he was like, he's an untrained dog that doesn't know how to behave. And I'm just like, what the hell? But then he paused, and I'm like staring at him, and I'm like, is he waiting for me to throw something at him? Is he waiting for me to say something? Like, is he going to turn around and come at me? Like, I don't know what's happening. So I'm just staring at him, and I'm kind of like feeling like shaky.
Right.
And I guess he figured, okay, nothing's coming at me. So then he kept walking. He went upstairs and put her away, and the pizza guy got there. So when the pizza guy got there, I was like, that's it. I'm taking advantage of this. I got my dog. I went and buckled him into the car. I got all my clothes off the kitchen table, went and loaded into my car as he's getting the pizza from the pizza guy. I come back in, and he's like, he's sitting down, and he says, make sure to take a slice of pizza. I was like, what? Yeah. And
that was sweet.
What?
I was like, oh my God.
You should have took the whole box.
I know, right? We had ordered pizza and a little salad bowl. I grabbed my salad bowl, and I just took it.
What?
Yeah. And it was late. This was like past 9. And I still had like a 45-minute drive back home. Mind you, I had just driven the 45 minutes to his place.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you take a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
Oh no. I don't like that.
And I did my best.
I don't like
Yeah.
that.
And there you go. I tried.
Open mind. So you saw Chad yesterday at the reunion, but before then, had you two seen or communicated with each other?
We had seen each other. We had both gone to, was it Pat's birthday party?
Mm-hmm. Brittany's birthday party.
And Brittany's birthday. So the last time I saw him was Brittany's birthday party. We really didn't talk much, but at Brittany's birthday party, when we got married, he had given me a little heart necklace. I don't think that they show that part, when the groom and bride exchange gifts.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And mine had busted, so he had sent it to get it fixed. And so I guess it had come back. So at Brittany's birthday party, he apparently told Megan to slide it into my purse. And Megan, I guess, felt uncomfortable just doing it without telling me. So she types on her phone, like, Chad wants me to slip this into your purse. Are you okay with that? And I look, and I'm just like,
He's right there.
I mean, it's like she's sitting here and he's right on the other side of her. And so I just said, yeah, like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So she slides it in my purse. And at this point, I'm feeling awkward because I don't know if there's a huge bag sticking out of my purse that I should look at and acknowledge and say, hey, thanks for giving me my necklace back or what. So I just was like, you know what, just ignore your purse. It's behind you. It's fine. And it wasn't until he left that I turned to look at my purse and it was just in the little small pouch in my purse. But I just thought, you're a 54-year-old man and you couldn't easily just say, hey, your necklace finally got fixed and I want to give it back to you.
Right.
Like, what's wrong with that? So I just thought it was like the strangest thing.
Oh,
Yeah. So that was our no conversation, but we saw each other, but there was no conversation, which is fine with me. And I changed my phone number, so he never had my new number. So
do you wear the necklace?
I did every now and then, but then it's just it just became uncomfortable. And it's so sad because it's a cute heart and I'm really big on wearing heart jewelry. And yeah, I know.
Well, maybe you can slide it back next time you see him.
Right?
Slide it in his
Slip
pocket.
it.
Yeah. What would you say you learned about yourself from your marriage to Chad, and how has this experience shaped what you're looking for in a partner now?
I think what I learned most of all are the trigger points, and that it is something that I have to work on. And I feel like at some point he said, you run from conflict. He said, I'm not like you. You run from conflict. And I said, I don't run from conflict. I have conflict when it matters. And when it's not worth my time, I don't have it. I'm not going to have a conversation when it doesn't matter. And I feel like just listening to my inner voice and not being afraid to just speak my mind is one thing, and not having to feel like if I speak my mind that person's going to eventually resent me. I think something I learned was that if I'm having to continuously disagree, that's not my person. That's not my person. That means we don't, not that we have to agree with your person all the time, but we should at least see eye to eye on how
To treat people.
To treat people,
and how to respect each other and that kind of thing. So I think moving forward, I know the personality that I want, and I know when I see it, I'm going to know it. And I did meet somebody and his personality is I'm just it's so weird because sometimes I don't even talk about him. Sometimes I just am he's the personality that I love. That's the personality I've been wanting. So yeah.
Wait, so you met someone?
I did.
Yay.
I spilled that accidentally. I feel like we're moving slow.
Yeah.
Because all of this is coming out and everything. And so just taking it easy and taking my time. And that's also new for me.
Yeah.
Moving slow, because I think everybody in my past has been love bombing type, which I know doesn't work. So not having someone who absolutely love bombs you is a little hard at first, because at first you're just oh my God,
Yeah.
it's been a couple of days.
Yeah,
Did he change his mind?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't want him to know you're thinking that. So
Yeah.
you're trying to
Play it
stay
cool.
calm.
Yeah.
But those feelings are there
Yeah.
until I've started to get used to that. I'm it's okay. This is something called healthy relationship.
Right.
So
That's exciting, though.
Yeah.
That's good news.
yeah, I love his personality.
Yeah.
I love it. That's the
That's
personality I've been
huge.
waiting for. So
Okay.
Yay.
All right. We
I
might have to come
know.
back to that.
I know.
So, Jalyn, let's move on to you for a little bit. Tell us about your first impressions of Josh and what you were feeling on your wedding day.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's not shown on the show is we had already met.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. We had already, it was very crazy. My whole thing Austin is so small. And so I've been single for a long time. So it was just, my whole thing was, please don't let it be somebody I go on a date with, please.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I walked down the aisle and I know him immediately. And when I saw him, I said, this is great. He's very handsome. But then I said to myself, I didn't want to disappoint myself because I just said, I don't want to know him. And I did. So I didn't want that to affect me. So I said, actually, I've never been on a date with him. We've never talked at all. So let me just I don't know him, and let me just
So how
roll with
did you
that.
know him then?
So probably like 8 years ago, we met at Gold's Gym.
Okay.
He came up to me and just introduced himself, and I said hi. And then I had just met like somebody I was with for a long time. So I would see him here and there, and he would say hi. I think he worked at a bar once, and I walked in, and he took me to grab a drink, and I said, "Okay, thank you," and left. But I was in a relationship for a while, and it's funny because the day after that night, the wedding night, we both didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And maybe we were thinking the same thing, and I was like, maybe he doesn't remember me. Like, I'm not
He
too sure.
remembers you.
Well, I wasn't sure. I was like, I'm not going to make the whole night about that because I
Yeah.
don't know him,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
let's just like figure it out.
Were you guys like social media friends?
So I knew at some point we had been on social media, and then it's really funny. At the end of the night, he looked at me. He said, "You know who I am?" I said, "Yeah, I do."
God.
And it's so weird because the next morning we were like, "Let's add each other in our phones. Maybe we have each other because we met 8 years ago."
Right.
And sure enough, I did have him in my phone.
What?
And I was like, "Oh my God, this is so embarrassing." But I couldn't tell you any. I don't remember any point of him ever texting me. So maybe he like asked for it on Instagram. But I do know he was in my DMs for a long time. But I was in the trenches in another relationship, and I didn't really pay attention to DMs. And so we met, but we had never done anything with it. We never talked. It was very strange.
Interesting. Did you guys have mutual friends?
No
Really?
mutual friends. So it was like clean slate. Like
Yeah.
the next day, I think I looked at his Instagram just to like figure out who he was, and I was like, we have no mutual friends. This is so strange. But I didn't know anything, and I think that kept me positive. I was like, this is good. Like this is what I wanted. Sure, like I recognized him, but all I knew about him was that he went to Gold's and worked at a bar at the time. So it was interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like open mind.
Yeah. And I mean, my biggest thing was hoping the person was attractive.
Yeah.
So, he was. So that was great.
Yeah.
I think for me, I was just like, okay, you don't know him. We're
Right.
not going to make it about that
Right.
because you don't.
Huh.
So I was happy.
Okay. That was a fear of mine on Love is Blind. I was like, I don't know who's going to come. Like, because the name I knew I never heard, but it's like you never know where you see people out, especially in small towns or like when you're going out to bars and stuff, you're like, you never know. That was a big fear of mine. I was like, please don't let it be
Exactly.
someone that has a nickname that I thought was someone else. Or,
Yes. And I
but-
think when I met him, I immediately in my head thought, he's been one of those in my DMs a lot. Like I remember that. But I was a relationship girl. So I was
like
in something
talking to
really
yourself?
serious. So he would, yeah. And I think actually we joked about it because I never responded. So he unfollowed me.
Oh.
And he remembers, he said, I unfollowed him first because I guess he was blowing me up. And he said, you unfollowed me and I unfollowed you. And I was like, oh, that's funny. But I know I just didn't pay attention because I was like in love.
That is so interesting. That is a fun fact.
Plot twist.
Yeah. You and Josh were one of the strongest couples right from the start. In fact, it seemed like the biggest issue you guys faced on the show revolved around the discussion of Burning Man. Why do you think there were so many communication issues when it came to talking about this?
It was really tough because my biggest fear about Burning Man, the camping. But when I'm in love with someone, again, I'll do anything. And I would have gone camping. That wasn't the worst thing. I think for me, the Burning Man experience was, okay, that's a lifestyle. And there's a lot of things that you think about when it comes to that lifestyle. And for me, my worry was, okay, does he like to do recreational drugs? Is that an issue? That's a big no for me.
Right.
And it was a huge issue for me. And I think that was my fear was, is this just a party animal guy? And that was not what I wanted. And so it was a lot of conversation off camera about, hey, that's a deal breaker for me. I need to know if this is like your whole personality. Do you love to do these things that they do there? And not everybody does do that. But I asked if he did, and he said, no, like I love to go to the vulnerability camps and
dance.
and learn things and dance, We didn't go to any vulnerability camps.
That's what I was going to ask. We learned at the reunion that you actually decided to go with Josh to Burning Man, even though you were very open about it not being your thing. What made you change your mind? And tell us about the experience.
Yeah, I think for me, again, my biggest fear was if it was a whole lifestyle, and I wasn't open anymore towards the end of the show. But then I realized this is his whole personality. It is his lifestyle. And I love him. And if I want to be with this man, despite what he's saying of it doesn't matter if you don't like it. And I'm not letting him go by himself. It's 10 days. You don't know what they're doing.
Right.
And he just kind of messed my trust up a little bit. I'm like, I don't think so.
Right.
So I think I just realized I do need to go. And it's important because if I don't like it, then it's not going to work because it is important to him and he's not going to want to be with me if I don't like it. It's not going to happen. So I needed to go and actually experience it for myself and I did.
How was it?
It was not exactly what I pictured. I think I pictured just that wasn't my scene. And I pictured a lot of chaos and it was, but it wasn't as like scary as I thought. Like I just thought it was going to be a lot of not like chaos.
Yeah.
And it was chill. I was really scared. I didn't really drink. I survived off Celsius and I wanted to stay alert and aware of my surroundings. And so it was tough at first just because we spent most of the time doing hard labor, building a shower, building our tents, building a giant dome. And I was like, holy shit, like, can I do this? And then once that was all done, we had a lot of fun. It was just him and I for the most part. And we went and danced to Taylor Swift, which was my thing. And at night we did his thing and we stayed up till 6 a.m. and I rallied my face off.
Did you stay the whole time?
The whole time, didn't complain, didn't cry. I had one panic attack before we went in and then I was good. Yeah.
Did you call mom at all?
No, we had no cell service.
Oh.
So that was another thing. Like you're completely isolated out there.
Oh, no, thank you.
And that's a little scary, but
She did call before when she had the panic attack.
called before.
Okay.
But that was a lot of disconnection that I don't need that disconnection in life, I guess. So it was kind of scary for me to just not have access to any family or know what's going on for 10 days.
Ugh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
But good for you.
She had us all over for dinner before they went.
Yep.
And-
I really
and-
treated it like I was like
The
going
Last
into
Supper.
war.
And she said, don't anybody die while I'm gone.
Please, no one die while I'm gone. I'll be so sad. I was stressed.
Did you think you would see the day that she would actually go?
Like I didn't really know much about Burning Man.
Okay.
No.
So I was just like, what is this big deal about it? But then when she says she wouldn't have her phone for all that time, and when she had us over for dinner and she's saying things like, oh, nobody died when I'm gone, then it hit me and I thought that's her fear. Her fear is to not have access to anybody for 10 days. And I don't know, maybe being there obviously with all that other stuff she talks about, but it didn't surprise me that she went though.
Yeah, and the camping aspect was actually not bad. Like the tent, he made it really fun. We decorated the tent and we personalized it, and the showering was different. But like I love him and I wanted to be his partner and teammate. So I was like, fuck it, let's make the shower and let's shower with buckets of used water. I don't care. Literally. So it was crazy, but I did it and I was gonna do it again. My only requirement for the next year was, let's get an RV.
Yeah.
And he said, okay.
Okay. Well, sadly, we learned at the reunion that you and Josh recently separated. How are you today? How are you feeling about everything?
I think I'm feeling much better. I think it was really hard at first, just feeling like I didn't get closure, or feeling like I got an answer that made sense or that I could really take. And I just felt so hurt and blindsided at the time. And it's taken truly, I think, up until the whole 3 months to like get to a better place.
Can you walk us through what life and your marriage was like for the past year since filming wrapped and how you got here? Like what actually happened?
Yeah, I moved into Josh's house and we were having a lot of fun. We were redecorating the house and we We traveled. Every traveling experience we did though was for raves. Like we went to Miami to go to a rave. We went to LA or Vegas to go to a rave. And I didn't mind. I was like, let me immerse myself in your world. And I can do it. Like I'm doing it. And I wanted to prove that to him. So it was a lot of traveling. We did a couple work trips for his company, and that wasn't ravey. But for the most part, everything was for raves, Burning Man. But it was fun. Every day felt very different. We did a lot just in our daily life and travel. And then he said one day, let's foster a dog. And I was like, okay, sure. And so we picked up this puppy, and he knew I was going to fall in love.
Yeah.
And we got a third dog, and we were raising him, and it was so fun. Yeah, we were having a blast. We had issues. To me, I felt like that is what marriage comes with. So I didn't, every issue we had, we handled, and we were working through things. But overall, we were always really strong. And I would tell him, like, I'm glad we feel very secure. Like, this is a nice feeling. And then I was really excited because our most recent trip was going to be the first time we'd go on a trip with my friends and do something I liked. It was for a birthday, and it was going to be more so a relaxed trip. And he had just gotten his diving license. And when he graduated, I decorated the house with all this shark themed. I had shark music playing when he walked through the door, shark balloons.
Yeah.
So I was cheering him on. I wasn't going to dive with him, but I was like excited. And we went to Mexico for my friend's birthday, and he went diving a full day. It ended up being girls because one girl went through a breakup. But he loved being with my girls. Like, he didn't care. So we had a good time. We went to dinner. We had fun. And then that night, it was like we were talking, and he just looked at me and he just said, I don't have a connection with you anymore. I want to break up. And I was literally in shock.
What?
Like, I couldn't believe.
In Mexico?
In Mexico, he said that. It was like the last night, and I was just like, what's wrong? I have no idea what's wrong. And he started by saying, I just realized I'm unhappy when I bought a motorcycle and I bought a new truck. Like, those are, I make impulse decisions when I'm not happy in a relationship. I did it with my ex. And I was just like, okay, well, what's wrong? Why are you doing that?
Right.
That happened quite a bit ago anyway.
Right.
And he just said, I don't know. Like, I just think you're a level 2 on the adventure scale. I'm a 10. And I was like, I'm confused. That doesn't make sense either. We just spent a year doing everything you want to do. And I didn't do it in a complaining way. I dove in.
Yeah.
And I said, can you give me another reason? Like, what is the reasoning? And he really couldn't give me anything that made sense. And he said, maybe we just need to go. I need to feel more fulfilled. Maybe we just need to go on runs and hikes. And I said, okay, I love to go on runs. You've come with me once. So it's a lot of pressure to think this one run or hike is going to help us when you just expressed you're not happy. That's going to fix us? That's the only answer you can give me?
Let's go for a run.
So I said, okay, can you give me a chance? Can we work on it? Like, this is the first time you're ever expressing you're unhappy and you just want to break up. And he said, okay, that's fine. Like, we can give it a chance. And then we got back, and I asked him, I said, where is my connection with you? Like, am I starting from zero? Am I starting from a halfway point? And I was really frustrated. And he was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I was like, wait, no, I'm sorry. Let's go back to our original plan. Never mind. And I was just walking on eggshells.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a totally different person during those 3 days, like cold. And I asked him, I said, why are you acting so cold? And he said, I'm not acting cold. I am cold. And I had never seen this human in my life.
Right.
Like, a year and a half, he's the most chill dude, down for anything, no emotional craziness. I was just like, what is happening? Like, I said, is there somebody else? Like, I don't know what's going on. And he said, no, there's definitely nobody else. And I said, okay.
Did you believe that?
I did at the time, but because I wanted it to work, and I just had no idea. Like, nothing made sense. And finally, the last night, we went to a concert for him that he wanted to go to, and we're in line. I'm feeling just so insecure and on eggshells. And he's talking to this girl who works there. He's like, oh, yeah. She's like, I'm doing a marathon. Cool. And I'm standing behind him and I'm in my feels because he hasn't said, hey, this is nothing. And so we walk in. I'm like, who was that? You didn't introduce me. And he was like, oh, I thought you knew her. She works here. I was like, no. He said, I'm sorry. You like, she came back in. I said, I know. I'm just sad. Like, give me a second.
Yeah.
And we walk in and we're having a good time. We're having fun. And this girl comes up to us later out of nowhere,
The
and
same girl.
different girl.
Oh.
A different girl comes up to us, and he knew a lot of people there. He was there a lot.
Yeah.
So, and she's like, hey. And he's like, hey, it's strange. Do I think, I just don't know what to think. And he's like, this is my wife, Jalyn, of course. And I'm like, hi. And she's like, congratulations. So I'm like, okay, they know each other because she's known he's been single at some point. And then he's like, oh, thanks. It was so loud. And so she leaves. And I was like, oh, who was that? And he was like, oh, I don't know. I don't know how I know her. I was like, well, it seems like y'all knew each other. What do you
Right,
mean? He's
right.
like, no, I don't know. And I was like, God forbid I don't use the right verbiage. He yelled at me at the reunion about, I was trying to be classy. And I was like, did you hook up with her? And
Yeah.
I said, did you fuck her?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, we're leaving. And I just knew in that moment, this was it. Like
Yeah.
he was red. That was
Yeah.
his out.
Yeah.
And so we leave. We're in the car. We're silent. And then I started saying, hey, I'm sorry. Like, again, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, I'm sorry. I was insecure because you just broke up with me out of nowhere. I'm thinking all
Right.
these things.
Just trying to put the pieces together.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Can you give me a chance? And he's like, you need to pack your things right now. And it was midnight on a Saturday. I said, I'm not packing my things. I got to work all day tomorrow. And the next day I worked and I was just distraught. And then I had 1 hour for an apartment to be open that I had time to tour. I toured it, said, screw it, signed the lease. And I moved out pretty quick.
Oh,
It was just like,
my
I didn't know who he
goodness.
was. He was acting totally chill, not sad. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you need, I don't want this to be hard for you. And I was like,
Sir.
okay. And like even taking my dog, like I was crying because I felt bad for him and my dog. Like this is our dog, and we're leaving, and Josh is just like nothing happened. And I get it, like maybe everyone handles things different, so I didn't hold it against him too much. But it did just seem like he had been processing this breakup for a long
while,
time.
Yeah.
And that was what was hurtful.
The blindsiding.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What the hell?
No idea.
So what has the healing process been like for you since the separation?
I think it's been healthy. Like I think what happened was it's just like I had to separate it. Like I wasn't getting everything I deserved in the relationship, and I need to remember that. Like, okay, it's more so my ego hurt right now because he did blindside me. I have no closure, but at the same time, should I go back to him? Do I want to beg for him back or make this really work? Like, no, I kind of deserve better. And I wasn't getting a lot of fairness in the relationship. And so it took a while. I'd try to go out with my friends and I'd tell them, hey, I'm over it. I'm going to go. And they'd be like, yeah. So I steadily like made my way. I healed. I tried to stay positive and remember that these feelings would pass.
And at this point, how long has it been since you guys separated?
It's just now 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
And how's the support system been like, especially with your mom, to help you get through this?
The support's been really great. I think everybody that I told was absolutely shocked because it just was never seeming that way to anyone. And so everyone's been really supportive and there for me, and that's been really nice.
And obviously you didn't see this coming.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I was surprised. They did everything together. They were always together.
Always.
They had to take care of my dog because I had to leave like on emergency, and I just thought she was going to come and spend the night with my dog, and no, it was both of them. So for me, I mean, people would ask me like, how are Jalyn and Josh? I'm like, they're doing great.
Yeah.
They're just like doing everything together. And I know being young and being married, I always wished that we would do everything together like that. And so I just thought it was like the best thing. So I knew that they had issues here and there because every now and then she'd call and say like, hey, this happened. And but to me, it just like came out of nowhere.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, girl.
It's okay.
Okay, you guys, let's talk reunion.
Yeah.
First of all, how are we both feeling after the reunion?
Relieved.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard that sigh.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
exhale.
Yeah. It was just nice. I think I'd been dreading seeing him and rehashing that moment. So it was nice to just get it
Yeah.
done with.
What do you guys think was the most shocking moment at the reunion?
I think I was actually shocked that I prepared for Josh to like be fully ready to take accountability. And when he fired back at me about something just like clearly obvious, he just acted like he'd never lied in our marriage. And he was like, "Are you going to give me examples?" And I was just like, "Whoa, I thought you were going to be prepared that I would.
Right.
I'm about to give you like 5. So what?"
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for him to just kind of be so defensive and come at me. Like I thought he would be a little more accountable of his actions.
Do you both feel like you have closure?
Oh yeah. I feel like I
Yes.
didn't. I mean, I'm the type of person I don't feel like I ever need it. Like I feel like I'm at peace with myself. Like it didn't work. It is because he's not my person.
Yeah.
That's a no brainer.
I
It's
love that.
easy.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really felt like I needed closure. For me, it was more like, oh, the end.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. And I think I spent the last 3 months giving myself closure. Like, hey, he was clearly avoidant. He never gave me a chance to communicate. So that was healing enough for me. And just seeing the way he came to the reunion, like that was like, yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, with that energy.
hmm
That's not good.
Yeah.
So what is next for the two of you?
I'm excited for what's next. I'm not sure. I mean, I feel like I'm definitely ready to step into the dating pool again. I'm back on the streets. But I feel excited just because I know that I can trust my gut all the time and that there's somebody out there. Like if I had what I thought was a great marriage for a decent time and that was just me immersing myself in his world, then how much more fun is it going to be married to someone who we share that?
Yeah. That's going to be so good for you when you find that, because that is
Yeah.
what, like, I believe, like, relationship is about, is, like, it's give and take. And you don't have to love everything that your partner loves, and they don't have to love everything, but there has to be give and take. And I just felt like you gave and gave and gave.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for you to
Yeah.
receive and have some fun
Thank
and
you.
do your thing. What about you?
I'm excited, one, to see where this new relationship goes.
Yes.
Once everything is said and
I'm
done and
excited
over
too.
with the show.
Yeah.
And really just I think with 2026 coming around, like picking up on those girls' trips again is like something that I really want to start putting together again for next year. In 2020, I want to say 2025, we only got to do one. So my goal is to do more in the year. So I'm
Fun.
hoping that I can get that done.
Fun.
Yeah.
It sounds like you guys are still so, like, happy and optimistic.
Yeah. I think
that's the only way.
that's our best personality trait is
Yeah.
keep on going. And, this was a great experience. I learned a lot. You learned a lot. But
Yeah.
there's only more better experiences to come. And
Yeah.
that gives me hope for sure.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for us is like if you live with gratitude, then you only can be optimistic. It's hard to have gratitude and be negative. You know what I mean? So
true.
yeah, I just feel like that's just the way to go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this duo. I love this relationship. And I'm gonna be a girl mom soon. And I just
Exciting.
I just love adult mom and daughter relationships, like my favorite thing. And so I'm really grateful that you guys stopped by. I know you had a long night and you've had a long few weeks, but I'm really grateful that you guys have stopped by.
Yeah.
What's the reality to give us the tea?
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Of course, you guys are
No.
welcome here anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of What's the Reality. Be sure to follow us on all social platforms at What's the Reality Pod, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.
What's the reality? What's the reality?